Strafe jumping is by far one of the most important Quake mechanics. Not only is it part of the core gameplay, but it's also really fun and addictive once you get used to it. However, for some people, strafe jumping is a really unknown concept. Strafe jumping can easily be separated into three parts: strafing, turning, and jumping. Let's begin with strafing. As you can see, as I hold forwards or backwards and spam the strafe keys, my speed increases, though only for a fraction of a second. And if I keep strafing in only one direction, my speed normalizes back to base speed. Next will be turning. As you can see, as I turn my mouse around, I gain speed. The amount of speed I gain is based on how fast I turn my mouse, but the smoother the turning, the longer you can keep the speed for. Lastly, we have jumping. Jumping doesn't really do anything itself, rather it's being in the air that allows you to hold your current speed, or even increase it. This means that you could, for example, fall off an edge and you will have the same result as if you had jumped. You can however lose speed if you change your movement direction while in the air. And just in case, any other input besides forwards, I'm simply using to accelerate so I can show you that jumping will allow you to keep that acceleration. Now I'd like to show you what happens if you combine strafing and turning. As you can see, the speed increase is almost the same as with turning alone, but it's much faster and keeps itself a little bit more than before. This is the very base of a circle jump, which is the first jump out of many while strafe jumping, so getting this right will make everything much easier. Combining these three into one will give you a circle jump, so what you do is you move forward, you strafe, you turn into the direction of a strafe and then jump. One thing to keep in mind is that acceleration is tied to jumping base speed and acceleration rates. Lights, mediums and heavies all have different stats, so while results may vary, you'll want to get about 450 UPS with one circle jump, with 500 UPS being a goal to work towards. To strafe jump, you start with a circle jump to initiate with some speed. The idea is basically the same, but without making sharp camera turns in the direction of a strafe. Instead, you slowly move your camera outwards as you jump. The reason you sometimes switch strafing and turning sides is to balance your movement to keep yourself in a straight line. Ideally, you'll want to gather some speed off of one side, then do the other, and repeat. Of course, if your aim is to go left or right, then stick to those sides. Also, the more speed you hold, the deeper you'll have to move your camera outwards in order to keep gaining speed. This means that while going fast is fun, you'll have to balance gaining speed with aiming and being aware of your environment. You also make a ton of noise while strafe jumping, so keep that in mind. Also, you can either tap or hold jump. I'll recommend tapping though, as it will help with your timing. And yes, strafing backwards is possible, but it takes a lot of map awareness and practice, especially because you have to invert your strafing patterns and camera turning. Strafe jumping is all about timing and user input. If you're losing speed or not gaining enough, you're doing one of the three things that I mentioned earlier wrong. You could be mistiming your jumps or strafes, or messing up your mouse movement, so practice until you get it. This is basically it for strafe jumping. The rest of the video is going to tackle stairs and corners. Stairs will need to be taken differently as they require vertical movement. If you're going down a stair, simulate that you're strafe jumping, but without jumping. Take each step as if it were a jump, and continue normally once you reach the bottom. If you're going up a stair, simply hold jump. This will make you jump in every step so you won't lose speed while going up. It's also important to realize that you will need to retime your jump each time you change floor height. You will need to tap early for higher and late for lower. Also, the faster you take a stair or ramp, the more altitude you will gain with your jump. Lastly, I wanted to talk about corner cutting. Since you can't really turn while strafe jumping, you'll need to either slow down or completely stop the corners in order to take them. Sometimes you'll even have to time your jumps differently in order to take a specific corner. Most of the time, however, reinitiating with a circle jump is enough. This means you'll sacrifice some speed though, but in return you get to where you want to go. Before finishing, I wanted to mention that there are other strafe jumping methods, as well as other movement mechanics present in Quake. I'll try making videos on those, focusing on crouch sliding and air control, but this is all for now. I really hope this helped, and I will see you in the next video.
Quad spawn. Dominating.